couldn't work out. I wasn't allowed to work out, and so I couldn't just sit home. That's not who I am anymore, at least. Yikes, throwback to that bitch. Hello there, internet. So today I am coming at you with some real talk. I personally only wanted to start this cleanse because I don't know you know what, let me look up the proper terminology right freaking now, because I feel like a dipshit every time I don't know what it is. Subluxation. Alright, I only wanted to start this cleanse because I had a subluxation in my right knee, which is the fancy term, I just googled it, for a partial dislocation in my right knee. I took a kickboxing class at the gym, which I've been taking for 2 years now, and one day I guess I just overextended my knee a little bit much, and my, you know, joint, patella, whatever, just decided to squeeze out. Now it just kind of comes back in and comes back out. Or it did, at least. It would come back in, come back out, have some fun, you know, partying, hanging in there. But I can say, and I don't know whether this was the cleanse or my physical therapy, which I started the day I started the cleanse, but my knee is basically healed. I know that this cleanse has affected me in more ways than one, and I will get into that later. I'm assuming you clicked on the video because the thumbnail and title are self-explanatory. Today I'm going to be talking about the 10-day green smoothie cleanse. That's pretty much it. So if you don't care about health or cleanses or, you know, juice, don't watch the video because this might be boring for you. But for those of you who are either thinking of starting the cleanse, just finished the cleanse, and want to know what happens when you do the cleanse, stay tuned because I'm about to start explaining shit. So let's get into it. I kept a journal of like each day that went on as I was on the cleanse, just because it personally helped me to like express how I was feeling. I don't know, if I was in a shitty mood, I would say that, and then I wouldn't be a bitch to everybody around me. So it worked. So this here was just a list of all of the snacks, because I found it annoying always having to open my phone, because for me, going on this cleanse also meant social media detox. If I'm going on a real life detox, fuck social media, I don't care. So I like didn't go on my phone a lot. I mainly went on my computer to check the Facebook group that is like a support group for those of you who want to start the cleanse. So I'll actually link that down below because you do have to be accepted into it. So I would suggest joining the Facebook group or requesting to join like a day before you start your cleanse, or maybe even way before then, because you can get tips, advice, and better grocery lists, I think. You can have low sodium tuna, apples, vegan mayo, raw crunchy vegetables, hard-boiled eggs, peanut butter, and then there's also a handful of protein bars you can have while you're on the cleanse, but protein bars have never been like a thing that I was interested in, mainly just because they're very high in calorie, and I know that, you know, that's not something that many people pay attention to, but I'd rather not waste like a full meal that I could be getting with protein on a little RX bar. I've always wanted to try an RX bar, don't get me wrong, they look amazing on my Instagram feed. I just haven't really been interested in that. So if we take that out of the way, I also kept track of my weight each day. A lot of people said that weighing themselves each day was not something, you know, they wanted to do. They just weighed themselves on day 1 and then either day 10 or 11. I weigh myself every day anyway, just because it helps me know if I need to look out for myself, what I can do for the day, you know what I mean? It helps me get my day started. So I started off day 1 when I began the cleanse, before having any smoothies, woke up on day 1. I was 163.5 pounds. My waist was 31 inches, hips was 38 inches, right leg was 23.5 inches, left leg was 23 inches. For some reason there's a 0.5 difference between my right and left of like everything, but I'm assuming that's just because I had a bum knee. My right arm was 13.5 inches and my left arm was 13 inches. I only measured myself on the first day, and day 11, I didn't measure myself every day when I weighed myself. That would have been pointless. After each day, I wrote, I don't know if you can see that, probably not, like between each day that I spaced, I wrote how many pounds I lost so that it would be easier to calculate at the end. So I was losing a pound a day, and that's expected. Day 6-ish was where it came to a halt, because on day 7, when I weighed myself, I was 157.4. So I only lost 0.4 pounds between day 6 and day 7. That's fine. That's normal. That happens for everybody. I wasn't mad because, again, I didn't start this cleanse to lose weight. That was not my goal. I did it for health purposes. And if you get the book and you're interested in more information on that, it's like the fact of like, you can't want to do this to lose weight because it's a juice cleanse, which means when those 10 days are over, if you continue eating what you either were before or you still don't eat as good as you should be, you're most likely just going to gain whatever weight back. The point of this cleanse was to cleanse your body. It's to basically have a fresh start. That's how my outlook on it is. You know, I bumped my knee. I couldn't work out. I wasn't allowed to work out. And so I couldn't just sit home. That's not who I am anymore, at least. Yikes, throwback to that bitch. The 10-day cleanse is a lifestyle change. It is not a diet, so don't go into it thinking that it is, otherwise you will be very disappointed with the results. I was disappointed, but my mom reminded me that like, that happens, your goal wasn't to lose weight. If you gained anything out of this, you gained a better appreciation for food as a whole, and that's another thing that J.J. Smith mentions in her book. Personally, I don't know about everyone else that's doing this cleanse. I had a very toxic relationship with food. My parents shared with me their experiences with food as well, so it's kind of genetic at this point. I had a very negative relationship with food. My world revolved around food. What was I gonna eat? When was I gonna eat it? I was scared of how many calories I was taking in, how much food I was having. And even when I was doing that, I wasn't a twig. Like, I was eating a lot of food, and I would eat when I wasn't hungry. I would eat when I was bored. I didn't know what being full felt like, and when I say this, you might be like, what? What do you mean everyone knows what being full feels like? I didn't. I would eat and eat and eat until there was no food left. If I felt full, I would be like, oh, there's still food on my plate though, I can't throw that away. If you're not hungry, don't eat. Something that this cleanse has taught me is that when I am hungry, I eat. If I have those stomach pains, I eat. Your body needs food, it has to survive. But if you're not hungry, and you know you're not hungry because you're not feeling those side effects of hunger, and you're not feeling like you're hungry, and you're just bored, which is what it would come back to me. I would be bored, I would need something to do, so I would go to food. Now, when I am bored or thinking of food, I draw, I write, I journal, I make YouTube videos. It doesn't matter, I just find something fun that I like to do and do it.
346 minutes later.
So this little column here is post-cleanse measurements. It is a 10-day cleanse, but they do suggest you having at least 1 to 2 smoothies a day for like 3 or 4 days after your cleanse, just so your body doesn't go into shock, because if you start taking in all of the same foods that you were taking in before, your body will literally break down and you will not be happy. I'm still having a smoothie a day just because I want to, but it's been like 5 days I think since my cleanse. My post-cleanse measurements, my waist was 30.5, my hips were 37, my right leg was 22.5, my left leg was also 22.5, my right arm was 13, and my left arm was 13. So I basically evened everything out. I was down 7 pounds total, so after day 10, I'm assuming day 11 when I weighed myself, I was down 7 pounds total. So over a course of 10 days, I lost 7 pounds. That's a lot of weight. I also wrote here, back down to 156.8 3 days post, which means if you weigh yourself day 10, 11, you might still be higher than you will if you weigh yourself in a few days, because you have so much water in you. That's another thing. You need to stay hydrated on this cleanse. Right now I am parched. I have a water over here, thank God. It's suggested that you drink half of your body weight in ounces of water each day. I drink a lot of water, and not a lot of people do. A lot of people forget about it, but water's important, so you're gonna watch me take a sip of my water right now. If I don't choke. That was such a fail. I kept track of which smoothies I didn't like and which ones I did like for post-cleanse purposes. So I would literally write like, day 2 smoothie tasted like shit. So I know a lot of people were saying side effects hit them days 1, 2, and 3, and then by day 4 they felt like
a new person and they felt amazing.
That wasn't the fucking case for me, bitch. Day 1, I just felt little hunger pings, and maybe that was because I was at work, so I was busy. Again, I was not used to feeling hungry, so when I was hungry, I would have one of my snacks. So each day, I had 2 bottles of water each morning, then a cup of detox tea, and then I normally just went off to physical therapy or the gym or whatever. And then when I got home, I would have my breakfast smoothie. My lunch snack, I considered it, was always egg salad with 2 hard-boiled eggs and 1 to 2 tablespoons of vegan mayo. So I would have that for lunch, and I would dip vegetables into the egg salad, and it tasted really good, and I love egg salad, so that was really good. And then I would have the tuna salad, which was just the low sodium tuna with, again, vegan mayo, but it was all portioned appropriately, and I would dip vegetables in that too. And then I would have my dinner smoothie, and then later that night, if I was hungry, I would have an apple with 1 or 2 tablespoons of the natural peanut butter. And I continue using it to this day because it is so damn amazing. Bless you, Smuckers. Is that how it's pronounced? I don't know. My side effects really started on day 2, which was basically the caffeine withdrawal. If you know me, you know I love coffee, bitch. I fuck with coffee so hard. Dunkin' Donuts is my life. If they could sponsor this video, I would appreciate that, but they won't because I'm probably gonna, you know, be demonetized anyway. I was really irritable for no reason. Let's see what happened. I had an emotional breakdown, so that's fun. I had hunger cravings for fruit because fruit I lived on before the cleanse and after. I still love it. An apple was the only form of fruit you could have on the cleanse, so I was like deceased, aside from the ones in your smoothies, obviously. I had headaches, nausea, all of which are presumably from my coffee withdrawal, but that was it. That happened on day 2. I think that was the only day I felt side effects as well. Someone on the Facebook page, I remember seeing this, was this woman asked a question and she said, for all my ladies out there who are on the cleanse, were you on it on your period while you were menstruating, and did it have any effect on that? And I personally will never know for sure, obviously there's no telling, but I think it did because I didn't plan this at all. On day 6, I started my period. I did not experience cramps, which that I remember, and this may be a TMI moment, but I also had a lighter flow. Is that too much information? Probably. And then, you know, there was also occurrences where like I would go to the movies with my mom and she would have a tub of popcorn. And then there's instances where like day 5, I went out with my friends to the mall and they all got, you know, they're probably watching this right now like, bitch, fuck you for calling us out. They all had salad bowl thingies and I couldn't have that. I had my smoothie. And that was that. It was towards the end of my cleanse when my family went out for trivia night, which we do almost every Sunday night, and it's at a restaurant, so we normally always get food while we're there. I had to bring my dinner smoothie, and I also brought some tuna and veggies just so that I could eat while everybody else was eating because I knew it would have killed me otherwise. But to look around, you know, I was seeing everybody's food. They would have everything fried. You know, there'd be like the tater tots, the burgers, the french fries. Everything was so greasy and oily and fried because I live in America and that's how it is here. So to see everything fried and not want any of it was like empowering almost. I don't like eating out at restaurants anymore. When I go out with my family and when I go out with my friends, I bring my food. We went to that trivia again the following week and I brought a salmon patty, 2 pieces of bread, like a little container of dressing from my house, and then I ordered a side salad, which was like this big, and it was just the lettuce, tomatoes, you know, no dressing, obviously I didn't want theirs. And then I added my own dressing to that salad and I made my little sandwich, and I was even able to put the tomato and some of the onions from the salad onto my sandwich, so it was so good. And then another thing I want to note is because I was journaling throughout this experience, I've started journaling like personally. I don't know, I just feel very open being able to like say how my day went, say what I ate, say how I felt the whole day, say some inspiring things for my future self to read back on. I really like it. And before I end the video, I did want to say that I eat organic food now. Me. Y'all know me, okay? I do not eat organic food. My family does not buy organic food, but homegirl is eating organic food. I only eat organic food now. And I don't know how long this is gonna last, if it's just a little temporary thing, like my whole vegetarian thing for like 3 months, which I still didn't make a video on, but maybe I can film that next week, who knows? Maybe I'm just gonna become like a health and food channel, who fucking knows? If I leave anything out, I will let you guys know in the description box below, because that's where all my information will be. Don't be afraid to reach out to me if you genuinely have more questions about how this cleanse affected me mentally, emotionally, physically. If you have tips, or not tips, if you want to know tips, or if you have some for me, that's helpful too, that's fun. Or on my Instagram, which is right there. I'll see you guys next Sunday. Bye! Side note, quick, before I leave for work in my ugly ass polo uniform, I made these peanut butter protein balls and it was my first time making them. I always see them on like Instagram feeds and like stuff like that, so I will put that recipe in the description and on the screen right there. They're so fucking good. Holy shit. They're amazing. You don't even know they're good for you. I would suggest having one a day. Don't overdo it because they're really good. You might just overdo it. I started it June 6th. Who texted me? Okay. June 6th. What time is it? I have to leave for work soon. Fuck. Oh, okay. Stop texting me. Oh my god.